Good morning. For those of you that don't know me and my colleague, we are two SAP application consultants of the Solution Group, and we work in the office of Luca. Today, I'm going to show you a brief introduction to an approach, an approach to an application, enterprise application development for the implementation of complex mathematical models. So, as the agenda says, today I want to show you a new type of R language that many of you, I think, or I suppose, don't know. That is the R language. So first of all, we'll have a look to what is R and how to use R to implement an enterprise application. Then the next step, the last step, it's how to avoid problems, increasing the performance of our enterprise application for example, in a productive environment. So, as I said, what is R? R is a different way to approach a programming language, as I wrote in the title of this slide. It's, first of all, an open source programming language, and is widely used for many analytics purposes or statistical approaches. And of course, as I said, the implementation of complex mathematical and predictive models. That was our case. But unlike the standard types of programming language with many of you had to face with, R is an interpreted language. What does this mean? This means that the parser, the interpreter, executes the instruction directly, without a compilation of the code previously. So this means that the interpreter starts from the first line of our code and executes the instruction one by one, translating it directly, as I said, into a subsequence or intersequence of subroutines. So how to use R? R is based on an engine that is called R engine, and it is accessible or accessed by a command line interface. The user usually can directly input his operation, that are the instruction or the statement, and this command line interface, as showed on this slide, he offers a multi-OS support. But as I have underlined, Linux is the best supported because it is natively integrated with Apache and other tools that are best performed into a Linux environment. So maybe I forgot to tell you that this language is really easy to use, and this means that this is because it is an interpreted language. So the user types an instruction like 2 + 2 on his R command prompt, and immediately he receives the answer of his calculation. In addition, like any other programming language, the R project team offers a studio, an IDE, that is called R Studio, that simplify just a little bit more the interaction with the entire programming language. So this slide show you an enterprise scenario. So what does this mean? This is a standard three-tier application where the user interacts with a presentation layer, where lies the front-end application, for example, Chapter 5, as we will see in a few minutes. And the front-end application interacts with the business layer, where lies a server-side logic, wrote, for example, in PHP, And this logic is, this business logic is responsible for the interaction with the R engine. So, and maybe there is a third layer that in my example is not implemented for reason of time, as I mean, and purposes of this presentation. But as you can imagine, the magic stays here between those two layers. So the basic approach is the user. Basic flow is the user that accesses the web application. The web application sends and receives data from the business layer that perform a calculation. So now let's switch to the code, and but before let's have a look to our my simple example. This is a basic application wrote in SAP UI5, where we have a range slider that counts the days of a year. And when the user chooses an interval, like a range like this, the application sends a simple request to a service that is wrote in PHP. And what does this server do? This server simply extract the parameters. So in this case, it's start index and then the index for the range that the user chooses, and iterate through this simple example to execute an script. This script, just only for information, calculates the solar declination of the Earth respect the sun. So as many of you, this is for many of you maybe this is a strange approach, but you have to consider that inside this R script that for the moment I prefer to not show you, we have several statements that calculate sinus, cosinus, and other mathematical information that are not properly of this, not related to this presentation. So, to end the business logic introduction, as you can see here, the code execute the R script into a Linux environment, obtain the output, and encapsulate it into a JSON response that our application interprets and insert into a basic this chart. So this is the approach to how to implement an enterprise application using the R engine. But this approach introduces, in my opinion and in the opinion of the community, several bottlenecks. For example, the communication. The communication is made via an HTTP protocol, so maybe it can lapse or introduce a delay. So maybe the performance could be not good as the developer needs. So the community started to find a solution to this problem, and few months ago, at least one year ago, if I don't remember wrong, introduced a new optimized framework to implement such a kind of enterprise application. So, which were their goals? So, reduce the global response time with a less effort to realize the application. So, I hope that as you could understand, implementing the free-fire application requires an effort to implement the front-end logic, the back-end logic, and maybe the persist logic. So the aim was to reduce this effort and gain the same result. And then, of course, the last point says maintaining the same flexibility in terms of customization and powerful integration with the engine. So the answer to all these questions was a framework called Shiny. Shiny is a platform that was creating as I said, 2 years ago, and it offers to the developer the possibility to interact, to realize applications that are called shiny apps, that are really powerful and let the developer to insert into a web page that is a general term to describe a front-end application and a server application, and offers to the user really high possibility of customizing and powerful tools server side also. So using Shiny, the time, as I wrote, to create simple and powerful web-based integration, interactive data products is minimized. A Shiny project is based on two principal files or parts that are the UI for the interface controls and the server that executes the business logic. As you can, inside the free-tier application, you can view this division, those two files, like a unique black box, where from one side you have the user that accesses the web interface, and on the other side you have the database. Inside this black box stays the magic, as you can imagine, that executes the R scripts, reducing a lot of problems that are related to the performance. How to provide provide into a productive environment and Shiny app. There is the Shiny server, that is an R-based web server that exposes the UI content and manage properly the business logic. Now let's switch to the same application based on this framework. Let me say that this is a basic HTML page, but the power of this framework is that you can really customize in every part this front end. Also introducing a better framework like, for example, SAP UI5. But for this, for my purpose, this is enough to show you the really power of this framework, because the same example that I have wrote and showed you before is performed with first of all better performance. As you can see, the response time of this application is less than the other one showed you in SAP UI5. And of course, the real magic is that this is an R Studio window, and as you can see, this is the UI.f file that shows the UI controls to the user and react properly to the server notification when the business logic is accomplished. So as you can see, these are at max 10 lines of code. And on the server side, to execute the same logic that is performed into the PHP file that I showed before, as you can see, this is only the execution of the same operation is one line of code and then few lines to render the graphic plot. So as you can see, the effort for the implementation is less than the normal one, and regarding both UI and server side, and of course the performance of the entire application. This is a really basic application, I know, but I hope it's enough to let you understand what I mean. So as I can see, it's really powerful. So that's all. I thank you for the attention, and if you have any questions, I'm here. Sorry if I go through the time that you have left me.
Thank you, Marco.
Thank you.